So I recently started watching Jidion's videos, where this former public nuisance turned into a child predator catcher and legitimately doing a lot of really good things for our society, catching a lot of these individuals that do these illegal activities, soliciting for minors, uh, having child pornography, and all of these different things, catching them and then turning them over to law enforcement, which was knowledgeable of the acts beforehand. And I thought it was a really positive thing that these people are doing, trying to catch these people. And mostly people agreed with me. A lot of comments with a lot of positive interactions, speaking about how well these things and situations are being carried out and just getting these child predators and molesters off of the streets. But there are also a small amount of people who aren't quite so happy and legitimately believe that these videos were falsified or were faked just for views and attention with paid actors, etc., etc. And I started to become a little bit skeptical of such videos. And I started thinking maybe they are faked. Maybe they aren't real. And so I started looking into it. And now that I have some evidence and looking into the different things that are done in these videos, I can pretty confidently say that these videos are probably real. Legitimately. These are actual people getting caught for their crimes and getting arrested. And I have 3 points to be able to prove this. And actual hard evidence showing that these videos aren't just a stunt or paid actors, but legitimate arrests and convictions and charges against people that molest children and do these different things that should land them in prison. Here are a couple of points. Point number one. This isn't exactly evidence, but it is something for you to chew on for just a minute here. Do you really think someone would actually want to get paid money to act as a child predator in the video and ruin their entire public perception, their social life, their family, just so they could act and get a quick buck? And I know people do crazy things for money a lot, but you really think someone would spend the time and the effort into doing all of this just to get a quick buck and then leave? I mean, the impact isn't just the video. Your entire public perception is ruined, and you are going to be seen as a child predator because these videos are represented as being real. And so I think it's just implausible that these people are actors simply based upon the context of these videos. But maybe this isn't convincing for a lot of people since people do a lot of crazy things for money. And we've seen this evidently throughout the years. And so this isn't hardcore evidence, but I think I have some later on which will be able to prove this. And this leads me to my second point. These videos have a real law enforcement presence. If you look into the actual cops that are in these videos and catch and arrest the criminals, they are actually the local police officers and the local police departments, the sheriff's offices in the local cities which they're actually in. The regions, the districts, it all lines up with the areas that they're in. It wouldn't make sense for them to be paid actors because they're actual police officers doing their jobs. These are actual charges being made by them and actual arrests done by the police departments. You might be saying, well, these are all things that are in their videos. Why are you using it as evidence? It's like me saying that since this video shows something is real, it must be real. But this is where my third point comes in. It's not only the law enforcement presence within the videos, but if you look outside of it, you can look at the actual arrests and criminal convictions of these child predators outside of the videos. In the actual police department, sheriff's offices, and correction centers, you can actually search up these people. And these are very real arrests. These are very real criminal convictions done to these people. You can look at it and yeah, the evidence is there. They aren't actors. They were legitimately child molesters and abusers that were actually found, caught, and arrested for it. It is evidence outside of these videos. Not only is it the police department shown within the videos, but actual law enforcement presence outside of it. You can look. Jidion's team has also been commended by local law enforcement and local news stations for their actions.
39-year-old Nicholas Mancini was allegedly sending pictures and videos containing sexual conduct and nudity. He thought this was a 13-year-old girl, but the person who was receiving the graphic content was a YouTuber who goes by Jidion. He makes videos catching predators. The messages that you see on your screen were between the two on Facebook before being moved to Snapchat, where Jidion believes that Mancini wanted to send graphic photos.
After knowing that she was younger, he then decided to take it over to Snapchat so that way he could send, inappropriate pictures and videos, and that way they would disappear. But luckily we have everything recorded and we handed those over to the authorities.
This isn't just because it's a stunt or a falsified video, but because these are real criminal convictions by these sting operations. And so, if you would want to criticize something like this, you'd have to look further into what your actual issue would be. instead of doing a lazy cop-out such as these videos are faked. Because while you could look at the older way that they would do these things and criticize it, I think that they have vastly improved in actually communicating with law enforcement beforehand and being able to accurately do this completely within the law. And so, in conclusion, do I think that these are faked videos? No. There's too much evidence to show that these are real. And at the same time, you might have criticism for the way that they've done these videos, for maybe the style. These are all completely valid. But for you to say that these videos are faked probably isn't true. Honestly, I would like to commend these people for doing this work. It's actually really good for our community, our society, and for all those people that are watching here, thank you for watching, and goodbye.